So in my last session, I had ended off with finding out two keywords: abandon friendship from the secret knowledge as the surprise event that my player character had encountered while working for the Glass Lords. So he has been promoted to second rank, which is a vassal, and with that there are some privileges that he has gained, and one of it would be, of course, gaining more access to the restricted areas, and basically a daily stipend of 20 key foil. So in this session I will continue with perhaps executing more missions for the Glass Lords to see if I can further uncover more details about the conspiracy behind the sending of the secret messages, and what does abandoned friendship mean, and also finding out what's the reason behind the insider job by the circuit priests to disrupt some of the rituals. Right, so where do I go from here? So basically I can take on another mission. Here I am, and I will roll a d6 to find out what is the task type. It's a 2, it's an item. And what is asked of me based on the item, I roll a 6, that is to hide. And what is the target? It's a 4, that will be a documentation. So I'm supposed to hide a particular document for the Glass Lords. Alright, so this seems like I am being appointed to go down to the Crypts to send out an encoded message, and I'm supposed to do it discreetly, so the words documentation and hide would perhaps mean that. So I will move on to the area of the lower levels, which is the crypt tunnels, memory crypts, and the maintenance tunnels, and attempt to bring this documentation, hopefully not get found out by anyone, and attempt to send out this documentation. And I hope that in the process I'm able to find out what is behind this encoded message. Okay, so here I am. I'm going down to I was at the upper levels, presumably, to hide this message and send it out under the memory crypts or the maintenance tunnels. I don't know which part of it, but let's continue. I have a pre-generated, or a map that I generated previously from exploring the tunnels and the crypts. So I'm going to continue from here. So let's assume I've moved on through the previous rooms and get to the last room. So the last room has a energy barrier, in fact. So I am going to attempt to pass through this energy barrier again, where I will have a look at the events. A shimmering energy barrier blocks your path. You must pass an average intelligence check to deactivate the barrier, but failing the check causes the barrier to emit a shockwave, dealing 2d6 damage to anyone within 10 feet. So I'm going to try to deactivate this energy barrier again by passing an average intelligence check. So my intelligence has a score of 9, modifier of 0. So which means to say I will need to roll a 14 and above based on the target number of 14 to pass through, otherwise I will take some damage from this energy barrier. I roll a 6, that's obviously a fail, so I will get 2d6 damage from this energy barrier. That's embarrassing. Right, so 2d6. I'm gonna record this down. 2d6. Just a 3 and a 1, that's a total of 4. So that will mean I absorb 4 damage, reducing my health from 22 to 18. Okay, so I have to try again until I pass, because otherwise I can't go further in the crypt. I roll a 12. That's a fail as well, so another 2d6 damage. 5 and 6, that's 11. So 7 out of 22 health. I will have to pass this in the next round, otherwise I may just die. 19. It's a clean 19, so I've passed on the third round. I passed the intelligence check on third try to deactivate the energy barrier. Okay, so now it's deactivated. To generate a corridor or room, I will have to roll a d10. I roll a 8, that would be a room. So of course I'm gonna roll 2d6s to find out. So 5 and 2. So I've generated another room, and I will find out how many doors there are by rolling a d4. 1 door. So I place this door here. Okay, there we go. We have a room, and I'm supposed to roll on a d10 again to find out if there's anything that happened. I roll a 5, so a 5 means that there's no encounter, but there will be an event. So I'm gonna roll on a d20 and refer to this table here. So roll a 14. Ancient reliquary. A sealed reliquary contains some items of value like small silver medallions and figurines worth a total of 100 key foil. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but I'll take it. So I'm gonna list this down. So I gain 100 key foil. I should update my character sheet. Alright, looking good so far. We shall proceed on. Well, I can roll for the room's description, but that's fine. I'm gonna skip that for now. So I'll roll on a d10 again to find out if it's a room or corridor. A 10, that will be a room. So 3 and 1. So I have 2 doors. Okay, next I'm gonna roll a d10 again to see if it's an encounter or a event. I roll a 10 again, that is definitely an event. So I'm gonna roll on d20. I roll a 5. Crypt. You discover a crypt filled with remains of an ancient noble. If you decide to open it, make a hard dex check. If you pass, you roll on the scavenging table twice. If you fail, you suffer the effects of an electricity field trap. Shall I decide to open this? So a hard dexterity check would require me to roll at least a 16 and above. I don't have any modifiers for dexterity, it's 0. So I won't take the risk because I'm low on life. Perhaps I can try to do some healing, but that will require me to rest. So I am going to try to rest for 6 hours and set camp. If I set a camp, I will consume a ration, rest for 6 hours. I have a bedroll, so that's fine, and I will basically recover some health. That's a 3, it's not too bad. Regain 3 health, which brings me up to 10 out of 22 health. Not looking too good yet, but that's fine, that's the best I can do. So, and my constitution modifier is 0, so that's fine. I will take that, and I will deduct a ration from my gear. So I have 4 rations, I'm down to 3 rations now. Okay, now shall we move on? Let's move on from here. Okay, so back to I've awakened, and I do have light source. If I do travel down the tunnels and the crypts, I do need the light source. So fortunately, I have picked up a very useful item, which is the Sphere of Light. It's an artifact, and it says that when thrown, it emits light of 2 feet radius or 10 feet radius. It follows the owner. Okay, so that would be my light source. That is taken care of, so that's fine. I will continue to explore the door on the south. So I'm gonna roll a d10 to find out if it's a door or corridor. It's a room or corridor. 2, that will be a corridor. And I'm supposed to roll a d8 to see how big the corridor is. So it's a 3 units down. Okay, and time to roll for the door. d4 again. It's a two doors, so 1 on the south and 1 on the west. Okay, so I'm gonna continue going south. And before that, I will have to roll on the d10 to see if anything happens. A roll of 1 to 3 means something bad happens. 4 and above, nothing happens. So that's a 1, something has happened, so that will be an encounter. If I recall the rules correctly, let's see if I got them correctly. Right, so I run into trouble, so that means I am faced with an encounter. And an encounter, that will be from the Voidspire rules. Encounters, so I roll on the d10. That's a 10. It's a tunnel ghoul. A tunnel ghoul is here in these corridors. So we have some combat finally to spice things up, and I'm going to refer to the creature stats. So a nanite infested cannibal who live in the tunnels under Voidspire. Health of 12, average attack, easy defense rating, 12 initiative, number of 1, 2 XP granted, perception of average is a human construct. So it has a couple of standard actions, which comprises of a standard attack, frenzied bite, special attack, which is a claw strike, and support action, regenerative bite. So without further ado, let's get into some combat. I can try to surprise it, so I'm gonna try to do a surprise. So I'll roll a d20 and add in my dexterity modifier, and then compare it to the tunnel ghoul's perception, which is an average, which I have to roll a 14 and above to pass. A 19, that's a good roll, so I managed to surprise the tunnel ghoul. The first round will be none other than me. I will start first, and I will roll a d20 plus my strength or dexterity modifier depending on which I want to use. So my character has a composite bow, which is a d6, if I'm not wrong, damage type. Otherwise, I can go straight to melee combat, which I can use my maul, and that is going to give me a lot more damage points as compared to the composite bow. But of course, if I'm going to use the composite bow, I do have an advantage of range, where I'll be starting from far away, and it takes the creature perhaps 2 turns to reach me, and I can take 2 hits, 2 chances to hit the creature. So I will do that. Because looking at my health stats, not looking too great. So I'm going to attempt to use my crossbow to shoot the tunnel ghoul. Alright, so I'm going to roll on my d20. Modifiers is 0, so I'm not going to add anything, and I will have to exceed the tunnel ghoul's DR of easy, which is, let's see, so easy is a 10, so I need to roll a 10 and above to successfully hit the tunnel ghoul. I roll a 9, just 1 point below, so that's a miss. The creature or the enemy can take, including PCs, which is free action. They cost nothing to use. Swapping of weapons, or 1 move action. They can take a square. They can make a move action to close up the range, or 1 standard action. So in this case, the tunnel ghoul will move closer to my player character. So no damage done on this round, because it's from a distance, it's from far away to nearby, and the closest will be engaged. So I'm going to move on to turn 2. So round 1, I will have to roll for initiative again to see who moves first. So d20. I roll a 1, not so lucky this time, so the tunnel ghoul goes first. So tunnel ghoul moves on this turn from nearby to engaged. It will attempt to attack me, so it will attack me. So in this case, I will not roll for creatures who are attacking. We don't roll for them. We will simply use the attack rating or attack score, which is average. That will be 14 points, and instead I will roll for my player character my own defense rating. So it's an 8, and my defense rating is actually a +2, so that's a 10. Is it enough to block the attack? So 10 and 14, obviously not. Also tunnel ghoul hits me, so that's a successful hit by tunnel ghoul. So what's next is I'm going to look at the enemy combat actions. I have a quick guide here. So I roll a d10 to see what kind of attack it hits me with. So I roll a 7. A 7 would be a special attack. So I roll a 4. So it has dealt me 4 damage. So tunnel ghoul deals 4 damage to Gwyn. So Gwyn is at 10 points of health. So -4, that will be 6 out of 22 health, which is pretty treacherous. So let's move on to the next round. Next round will be my turn, will be Gwyn's turn, my PC's turn. So he will roll a d20 again. It's a 4, it's not looking good. Rolls a 4. The DR is an easy, so I believe that's a 10. So it's a miss again. Right, so I have swapped my weapon from the crossbow to the maul, obviously using my reaction. So that's no damage dealt for this turn. So round 3, let's roll for initiative again. A 10. That's looking not bad. So a 10 plus my initiative modifier, which is -3. My initiative is -3 actually. Okay, since I've passed it, that's fine. That will be Tunnel Ghoul's turn. So now I'll roll the d20. Oops, so what's that? A 6. That's not looking good. It's a bad roll. So 6 plus my defense rating, which is a 2, that's 8. Tunnel Ghoul attacks with average, that's 14, that's a hit. Right, so I'm gonna roll on the d10 to see what attack it does to my player character. A 9. Ooh. Special attack. So claw strike engaged d3 damage. So d6 damage. So I'll roll d6. A 2. So it's 2 damage dealt by dropping Gwyn's health down to 4 out of a 22. This is looking very, very serious. So turn 2, let's see if I can hit it. Ooh, that is tough. I may see the demise of my player character for this particular combat. Alright, so let's go. Let's roll the d20. A 7. Oh god. 7 plus 2, it's a 9 versus the... Oh, it's still not enough to hit it. It's still below. So it's a miss again. So in fact, I can actually consider some other actions, but I think I'm just gonna concentrate on hitting the Tunnel Ghoul. Alright, so that's the end of round 3. Round 4. Let's roll for initiative again. I don't think I need to roll because I am pretty low on the initiative modifiers. So that's a 18. 18 minus a 3, that would give me 15. 15 initiative versus initiative of 12. That will be Gwyn going first. Not bad. Okay, so I will roll on a d20 again. That's a 19. That's a good roll. That's a 19 plus the strength modifier, that will be 21 versus a Tunnel Ghoul's defense rating of easy, that's 10. So I would have scored a hit. And I'm gonna roll on my D. What's that? A D12 to see how much damage I have inflicted on the Tunnel Ghoul. A 7, not too bad. So 7 damage dealt to Tunnel Ghoul, dropping him from 12 to 5 points. Okay, that sums up the first turn. Second turn, Tunnel Ghoul's turn. Okay, so I'm gonna roll on the d20 again. It's a 16, not bad. 16 plus my defense rating of 2, so that's an 18. I have successfully defended myself, so that's a missed attack, so no damage dealt for this turn. Okay, now we are on to round 5. Turn 1 again. Let's see who starts first. 16. Again, I think Gwyn will start first. So just give me one more hit and we should be able to take care of the Tunnel Ghoul. Oh, that's a 20. That's a critical. So critical means that I will have to just roll twice on my damage die, which is a d12. So I'll roll twice, which should be enough to take care of the Tunnel Ghoul. A 2, dropping its health to 3 points. A 1, so that's 2 out of 12 health left for the Tunnel Ghoul. That is so bad a roll. I thought I was able to take it out, but not this time. That's okay. So turn 2 will be Tunnel Ghoul's turn. Okay, let's see if it's able to hit me. I hope not. gonna roll on my d20. A 6, sorry, a 9. 9 plus 2, 11. That is enough to, no, that's not enough. So that is not enough to block the hit from the Tunnel Ghoul. 3 points below, so that's a hit. And Tunnel Ghoul will roll a d10 to see which attack it does. Oh, a 9. At 4 health now. So let's see if it's gonna, it will take me down. So special attack is d6 die. So let's hope that this is a poor roll. A 2. Whew. So that takes my player character down to 2 health out of 22. So all we need to do is just stay calm. I think we are able to take care of the Tunnel Ghoul in round 6. So round 6, let's see. I'll roll on the initiative again. Whew, a 2. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. So Tunnel Ghoul goes first. He rolls a 2, he goes first. And I will roll on the d20 to see if I can evade the block. Oh my god, it's a 1. Right, so 1 plus 2, that's 3. Oh my gosh, so I think I'm gonna die. Right, Tunnel Ghoul will strike me. Let's see if it can roll a fumble. Roll a d10. That's a 10. Wow, that's a really good roll for the Tunnel Ghoul. Congratulations. It's a special attack. So let's see. 1 point. That is so close. I'm down to 1 health. This is really exciting. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up yet. I hope you're not. So my turn. Okay, so let's make this count. I'm gonna roll my d20. I roll a 2. Are you serious? I roll a 2. 2 plus strength modifier 1 is 3 versus Tunnel Ghoul's defense of 10, so I miss. Ah, okay, this is nerve-wracking. I may just die next turn. So let's try it out again. We go to round 7. I'm gonna roll for initiative. An 8. 8 is not enough. So Tunnel Ghoul goes first. Okay, at this point, I would like to explore my options. If I can flee, which is unlikely, very unheroic of my player character, but let's be smart about it. So I'm not gonna die yet. I'm gonna see what other things I can do. Okay. Right, we are in a very critical juncture, but let's stay calm. Okay, so my actions, I can do these things over here. Standard attack, maneuvers. Can I run away? Disengage. I can disengage though. When a PC attempts to disengage from the melee combat, they must pass a dexterity versus dexterity check. A success means the character can move away freely to a different range, but failing means they aren't going anywhere. Right, so I have a chance to move from engaged to far away. And then attempt to draw my bow and arrow and give it a shot. So wait a second. Is this considered a standard attack or standard action? No, it is a... Okay, so I can make a move action and a free action to change my maul from melee to ranged attack. So I can move a single range only. So which means to say from engaged, I can only move to nearby. And I think that will qualify me using the ranged weapon. So let's try to move away from... Okay, I seem to have run out of options. Oof, this is so tough. It's really tough. Right, let me see in terms of the death and healing rules. Right, I believe it's here. The scene, starvation, fatigue. When they reach 0 health, they're dead. You can make a hard intelligence check to attempt to heal. So I need to roll a 16 and above to heal. Okay, this will be my last chance, but rolling a 16 and above on a d20 will be, the odds are pretty low. Right, I got medical supplies. Do I have medical supplies? I do. I believe I do. Let's check. Medical supplies. Yes, I do have 1 medical supply. Okay, are we ready for the attack? No, so I'm gonna roll my defense. An 8 again. So that's obviously a... I'm gonna get hit this time, that's for sure. So my defense rating is a +2, so that's a 10. And its attack rating is average, so that's a 14. So that's a hit by the ghoul. So we will roll the d10 to see which particular attack it does. A 2, standard attack. A standard attack. Right, so ghoul does a standard attack, which is Frenzied Bite. Engaged d4 plus 1 damage. So either way, I'm gonna die. So a 2 plus 1, 3 damage. So it takes my character down to 0 out of 22. So Gwyn has officially died, but he can actually do a hard intelligence check to see if he can survive. I think part of the fun would be to actually go through these kind of encounters. You know, what fun is there to, you know, beat every monster and beat every creature in every encounter? You know, sometimes I think the fun of the game is the whole experience, and that includes dying, right? Okay, okay, I'm gonna do a hard intelligence check, which I have a intelligence of 9, that's a 0 modifier, and a hard. I may use the DTN this time round to help myself out a little bit. Otherwise, I would have to pass. I will have to roll a 16 and above. So let's see if I do have the luck. A 17. A 17. Even if I were to go with the TN, I would have passed. So I think I earned it, and I deserve to resurrect my PC. Okay, so my PC is resurrected. He's got a second lease of life, and I can't wait to roll the d4 to see how much health points he's got. So we are back here. Let's have a look at the rules again to make sure I don't miss anything. Yep, so that's correct. So I passed the hard intelligence check, and if I'm successful, I recover d4 health plus my constitution modifier, which is a 0. So I just roll a d4. A 3. That's not too bad. Not too bad a roll. 3 out of 22 health I have regained. So that's great. Alright, and my second turn. So should I do some homebrew over here? Because I'm still at round 7. The Tunnel Ghoul has taken its turn. It's hit me. Obviously I died. So should I spend my turn to recover and take it as I've spent the turn to revive myself? I think to be fair to the Tunnel Ghoul, I should. So This turn will be meant for my PC's revival. So he has revived, he has gained 3 health points. So that's the end of round 7. So let's go for round 8. Let's have a look and see if I can defeat this Tunnel Ghoul. So I'm gonna roll on the, let's roll for initiative first. An 11. So an 11 minus 3, that will be 8. So an 8 versus the Tunnel Ghoul's initiative of 12, if I'm not wrong. So, right, my character is slow. He is carrying heavy weapons, so that's why his initiative is always low. So Tunnel Ghoul goes first, that's fine. Okay, turn 1. Let's see, Tunnel Ghoul. We will roll for my defense. That's a 19, that's looking very good. So a 19 plus 2, that will be 21 versus Tunnel Ghoul's average attack rating. I would have passed. That would be a successful defense from the Tunnel Ghoul. That's good. So this is my turn now, and I'm gonna roll on my d20. A 10 plus a modifier of 1, so that's an 11. So I have just scraped through the defense rating of easy, which is a 10, so that would constitute to a hit. Alright, so with that, I'm gonna roll my d12 to see how much damage I cause the ghoul. The ghoul is actually at 2 points, 2 health points. I'm gonna roll a 2 and above to kill it. An 8, so there we go. We have killed the Tunnel Ghoul, so it's 8 damage. So bringing the ghoul down to 0 health out of a 12. So I have successfully killed the Tunnel Ghoul, put it to rest after reviving myself and missing a critical strike, a critical hit. That's embarrassing, so I am going to end the combat here. And I will look at the loot table. 1 roll on scavenging table. So let's look at the scavenging table. Tunnels and crypt artifacts. So no, unless I roll an artifact, then I would look at this table again, but if not, I will look at the Koru scavenging table. A d20, a 9. That would be a 3d20. Okay, 3d20. So let's see. So 13 plus 17, that's a 30, plus 8, that's 38 key foil that I've gained. So I'm gonna record it down in my player sheet. So sorry, that's 38 from here, and I gained 2 experience points, plus another 2 for coming back to a session, so that's a total of 4. Alright, so I am done with this combat encounter, which is pretty intense, I think, and it's pretty laughable. So I've showed how some mechanics in the game can be friendly, such as using the DTN table. Fortunately, I did not need to use that, and also the function of reviving my player character by passing a hard intelligence check. Okay, so that's done. Going back to the tunnel. Again, the map. So I'm going to indicate here Tunnel Ghoul was killed. I've killed the Tunnel Ghoul. Okay, looking at my health now, I think the best thing for me to do would be to rest. But I think I am out of rations. No, I still have 3 rations left. I'm going to rest again another 6 hours, which makes it 24 hours. Which brings me to day, let's see, where am I? I'm day 15, so that will be day 16, right? Day 16, okay, so that will be my activity. And I hope that you've enjoyed. Oh, okay, I healed 1 point. So that would be a 4 points out of a 22. which is looking very, very frail for my character. Is there a way to heal more? I think there might be if I do rest in the settlement. Let's see if I can rest in the settlement. So over here it says, after a meal and a full night's rest, characters regain lost health equal to d8 plus their constitution modifier. So it's a d8, not a d4. I think I've been reading it wrong. That's okay, a d8. So let me re-roll this again, because I think a d4 would be too harsh, and I think it makes sense to roll a d8. So let's roll a d8. So 3 health points, that will bring me up to 6, which is not good again. Resting at a safe haven for 3 or more days, restore all lost health. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the, either the upper levels or the warrens to get myself healed, and that would take 3 days. And of course I will need to roll on my usage die, the resource depletion die, which will be, namely in my game, it would be the bounty hunter. So but however, as a vassal of the Glass Lords faction, I will not be subjected to the same rigors of being out in the wilderness, being out in the ruins, and be pursued by the bounty hunters. So I will presume that I'm safe, and I will be able to skip the bounty hunter usage die rolls. How about that? Okay, I think that is fair. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna rewrite a new entry for my journal. I'm gonna put the days down. So 3 days of rest. That will bring me to day 19. So I'm at let's presume I'm at the upper levels. Day 19, hour 6 a.m. So that would be a new entry. Okay, I will start off with this on my next set of exploration. Okay, so I'm back to 22 health. I'm gonna indicate here regained full health, rested 3 days. Okay, so I think that's all. It's good enough for this session, and till then, see you next time.